People of God, you know what I want to tell you, people of God, is we talk about projections sometimes, like how people will try to project their fears and stuff onto us, but we have to be cognizant and recognizing it, not get upset, but just kind of like take it with a grain of salt and move on, and not let people's fears settle in our spirit. And good morning. Not let other people's fears settle in our spirit and make us back away from doing the things that we know that we should be doing. It's the right logical thing to be doing. And I say that what brought me to that is because I was in the store looking for some chisels, right? Because I'm gonna go and I'm gonna service my transmission, and every time I service it, I leave a gasket on. Like I'll attempt to take the old gasket off where the flat filter goes. And if anybody interested in knowing what I'm talking about, you have to stay tuned for the next video I upload, because I'll share it, because just in case it helps, just in case it can. Oh, I came off too fast on the clutch, but I'll share it just in case it can help somebody. Because the last video I did about the transmission, I think over a year or so ago, I had a guy that commented and said that it really helped him because I went into details. Women are kind of nurturing. It's just in our nature where we go into a little more details about stuff. But what I'm saying is, the gasket, I was in the store looking for a chisel, because every time I go to take the gasket off, every time I service it, I ended up leaving it on, because I'll try to pull it. I'll put a pick up in the little, it's just a little small hole where the gasket fits. I tried to put a pick in it last time to pull it down, and I couldn't even get it out, because with all the heat that the transmission holds, that gasket becomes lodged on there. And so I just leave it in there, and obviously it's caused no problems or whatever. You don't know if it's leaking because it's shut up inside the transmission, right? But the new filter always comes with a new small little gasket. So what I was saying to myself is, I'm going to try to take that gasket out again. Each time I try to take it out. And so this time I went to see if I could find a chisel, which I found a whole set at Harbor Freight. I never had a whole set like this. They're different angles, different sizes. And I just needed something to be a little more thinner than what a flathead screwdriver looks like. Something more thinner that could kind of get right on the corner of it and not be too big, where I could take a hammer or something and just bam it to where I get it to bend in, or put some type of indenture in it. Then I can get my pliers on it and grip it and just pull it out and tap a new one in there, right? Well, this guy was in the store and he was laughing at me. I know I look a little weird. He's like, what this lady come in there with these coveralls on for, looking for, on this little tool section? And he was like, what you looking for? God, that's sweet. That's a nice little Beetle, Volkswagen Beetle. I love the little old-fashioned Volkswagen Beetles. And so I told him what I was looking for, whatever. He was like, why are you looking for that? Asking my business. Just all invading up in my business, right? And I told him what I was looking for, and I'm steady looking. He was like, oh, yeah, I wouldn't go in that transmission. You shouldn't go in that I would leave that transmission alone. Don't even know me. Don't know nothing about what I'm doing. Just all of a sudden tell me I wouldn't go in that transmission, because he's afraid, right? And I remember when I'm on my second transmission for my truck, right? So my truck is on its second transmission. This transmission that's in there that I'm servicing, this transmission is still under warranty and everything. But I've got over like 100 and something thousand miles on it, and it still does good. It's just that I need to service it. And you can tell when you need to service your transmission sometimes, because it'll start like it downshifts. Like it downshifts kind of hard. And I know the fluid is dirty. It's recommended that you service it at like every 60,000 miles, and I'm way past due. It's been 90,000 since the last time I serviced it. But let me see if this door down here is open. It's been 90,000 miles since the last time that I serviced it, and I wouldn't have serviced it the first time, but I had some transmission. My lines were busted because I had, this door's locked. I'm coming to dump the oil. The lines were busted because Um, I had some fluid leaking, and so I think I got like over 100 and what 40, 150 something thousand miles on this transmission, this new one. And the lines, my transmission fluid lines, were leaking because I had them rubbing together, and so when I had to drain all the fluid, I went ahead and replaced all um, the filters and everything, and that was about maybe over right at 50 something thousand miles, right? Or close to it. So that was the first time I serviced it. And then I should have serviced it at another 50,000 miles, which the recommendation is 60,000. But I try to do it a little sooner. However, I'm late on servicing it. And the very first time that I was servicing it, I'm gonna put this in here and go get my other one. The very first time that I was servicing it, my first one that went out, when I serviced that one, at about, I think the first time was like 150,000 miles. And that transmission, when I had someone, I'm not going to say the name, found out that I was servicing that, they was like, oh, tell her don't service that. Don't mess with the transmission. Don't mess with it. I wish I would have continued and serviced that one regularly. That one went out at about 317,000 miles, right? And had I continued, I got kind of nervous off of what I heard because I'm thinking, okay, this person is older than me. You know, they got similar trucks. Maybe they know something. I don't know. And I didn't service it. I didn't continue servicing that transmission. Hey, how are you? We're full. Oh, it's full. Their tank here is full where I come and dump it at. So I got to go up the street and dump it someplace else. So yeah, you can bring that one for me if you don't mind. Thank you so much. They're all tank where they dump at the part stores. This one is full, so I'm gonna go up to my next one. But somebody projected their fears into me on the. You might as well lift that one back in there too, since you already here. Why do it when I got the strength of a man right there, right? Thank you so much. So somebody projected their fears on me the first time, right? And I didn't service it anymore. Thank you. I like your hair too. You're welcome. And I didn't service my transmission past the first time. Anymore after the first time I did it. Well, it went out at 317,000 miles. So I was thinking to myself, if I would have continued servicing it, it probably would have lasted even longer. You know, that's my thought. Well, anyway, I still got good life out of it. 317,000 miles is a lot of miles to get out of a transmission. But nevertheless, back to what I'm saying. So let me put this phone down. So this guy, he tells me, no, don't go in that transmission or whatever. Now my comments, I was like, no, I'm going to service it. And he was like, hey, I think you should leave that alone. He don't know me from Adam. Don't even know me. You walk, see me in the store, ask my business, ask what I'm doing. I didn't tell you what I'm doing. And now you telling me not to do what I'm doing. And you don't even know me, sir. And I said, no, I'm going to service my transmission. I said, I got over 300,000 miles out of the first one. I got over 100-something thousand miles on this one. And I want it to last the same, if not longer, than the first one. And he was like, oh, okay. I see you know what you're doing. And he said, can I come over and help you? I said, no, sir, no, thank you. Goodbye. And got on out to see. I said, there ain't nothing but the devil. There ain't been nothing but the devil try to distract me. What I told y'all, this go to show you, try to promote fear, project fear. I rejected that fear, continued on, didn't let that feed in my spirit. Then try to entice, throw himself. Can I come over and help you? No, sir, you don't need to help. You don't know me from nothing. Full of lust. Keep your lust where it right at. I don't need it. But common sense, just think, people of God, when it comes to this transmission stuff. I called one of my elders and I was talking to him about it. He's very handy. He's a farmer. He's an entrepreneur. He's an investor. He's still a very handy man. He works on all of his equipment. And he also does side hustle. He told me the other day he had to put some vinyl sidings on for somebody. He got a guy that helps him. He's like, but you know, some of these young people, they don't like to work. They don't like to stick to it. He's like, I got to be over him, telling him everything what to do. But he was telling me, I told him about what the guy was trying to tell me, right, about going into the transmission. He said, you know, so many people, they get afraid of servicing their transmission. He said, but really, it's come on, car, so I can get over. He said they don't think about it. That oil, it gets hot, it breaks down over time, and then when that transmission fluid gets dirty, you know, it could cause those plates and everything to wear out. It causes the transmission not to shift properly, which my problem was, it was downshifting kind of hard. So I'm going to change it. I don't want it to keep doing that, right? And he was like, that fluid over time, it wears out. It needs to be changed. You know, it should be changed, just like the oil. You know, they change. He said you'll have some people, they change the oil, but they'll never change the transmission fluid. And so when you think about that, what he's saying, what the other guy was saying, projecting fear, telling me not going to transmission. I know a lot of people think like that, you know, and it's because of what they've heard and what they've been taught. Oh, don't never touch it. I heard somebody say, once you touch that transmission, you're going to always have problems out of it. That's not true, you know. That's not true. You're supposed to service it. Now, nothing lasts forever because everything man-made, it breaks down. You know, it wears out. That's why you constantly change the brakes on your car. You know, that's why you constantly change the struts, the rotors. That's why we constantly change the oil. The things that normally wear out regularly, quicker than an engine or a transmission, you know, we change those regularly. But nothing lasts forever. But while you have something, you want to do your part and take good care of it, right? That's my little 2 cents, you know. If I got something, I try to take care of it and let it last even longer. But when you're driving and around and stuff, you want your vehicles to be reliable. You don't want nothing to just out the blue just stop on you, you know. So I believe if we take care of our stuff, they will do what? They'll take care of us. And so that's just my little 2 cents. If the first one I got lasts me 300 and something thousand miles and I only serviced it one time, imagine if I would have continued servicing it, right? So don't let people project their fears onto you. We just got to be cognizant of that. Don't got to get mad with nobody, but we can respectfully say, okay, I hear what you're saying. You sound like you're afraid, you're fearful. I'm not going to receive that advice. I'm going to continue doing what I got to do. That's just my little 2 cents. Let me put this phone down so I can use 2 hands and hurry up because it's getting warm today. It rained overnight, baby. I was waiting for it to kind of dry up some, and now it's dry. It's getting warm. People, guys, if you ever change your own oil and stuff and you need to change it and you need to dump it, this is where you will come. Let me show you. Thank you so much. You want to lift that in there for me? Look, you be like, I ain't doing all the work for you now. But this is where you will come. There's a little oil thing at many of your local part stores. And you just put your oil in, pour it in. The other store that I was at, they were full. And so that's what they collect this oil and stuff. And so I got 2 of them from when I last changed my oil. I never drained them. Sometimes I don't always come and dump them right after I change the oil. But that's where you change it at. That's where you dump your oil at if you ever change your own oil yourself at some of your local part stores. They collect this oil. They have services where people come and pick up this stuff. And I don't know what they do. I don't know if they must clean it or reuse it or something like that. But it's no charge. You just come and dump it. So I got my 2 containers cleared. Now I only need 1 to drain the transmission. But
I have oil following me.
Really?
If I try doing all that.
No, don't say that. Don't speak down on yourself. Don't say that. Thank you.
That's yours?
Yes.
I love it.
Thank you. So, people of God, when you need to change your stuff, it's not just regular oil, like engine oil. In the bin, they collect, in that same bin, they collect transmission fluid, power steering fluid, oil, and he said there's one other one. But normally I just dump my oils and my transmission fluid. I've never really had to dump any, like I just dump my oil, engine oil, transmission fluid. I never had to dump any other oils. But that's where you would go if you ever have to, if you start DIYing it and you be like, where do I put this oil? Don't dump it on the ground. Don't throw it on the ground. Don't pollute the ground. Take it and safely let them discard it. Yep. All right.